mute, it's muted. This one is muted also. Hello everyone and welcome to another live coding show of CodeTap. I'm your host Marian, and today or tonight we'll be continuing with Quick Blog. So let's see what we can do about it. For those ones that are new over here, let me quickly open a new window. Incognito. Yes. So you can visit youtube.com/CodeTap/playlists, and basically you can find all the videos that CodeTap produces nicely organized, so you can easily access them. Right now we are working on this one, Quick Blog. Currently it has 12 videos in it. We've previously finished the Mega Menu Render Flow, your resume online using pure CSS3 and HTML5, and so many more, like Learn to Code Like a Pro for beginners and so on. So feel free to visit them, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube as well. Okay, so last time we've quickly explained the extend in Pug, and we've done those two changes. And let's quickly make a commit with this. So let's stage them. Okay, explain how extend or extends works in Pug, and why we are using Pug to produce HTML5, because it's a template engine for HTML. And let's sync it. Okay, so now let's see what we can do about it. Firstly, let's go into here, collapse almost everything. And what's our intent? Let's assume that we just learned something about CSS and we want to write our thoughts and make them online. And we'll do that using Quick Blog. So if we go on W3 Schools and go for tutorials, learn CSS, let's say we visited some of those lessons, like how to use CSS, what CSS is, and so on, CSS colors, maybe CSS backgrounds. We read through those pages, we got some examples, we've played with them, and now we want to write some of our thoughts about it. So let's quickly create here a new folder, CSS. Okay, and in here, new file, index.pug, and let's also open our command line and type npm start. If you have any questions, guys, don't forget to drop a comment either on Facebook or on YouTube. I'll be watching from time to time the comment section. Hope there is no audio problem, and you can see that on YouTube I can't see my face. I'll put my face to be seen on YouTube too. Yeah, YouTube has my face. Okay, the webcam is not working on YouTube. Thank you, Razvan. I always see your comments after I fix them. Thank you Bob. So this would be about CSS3, what I've learned so far. Okay, so if we save it, we can see that in the TMP folder we got the CSS and an index.html with this. So if we are to go to the localhost 3000, which you can, by the way, see over here in case you forget about it. Let me scroll. Yeah, you can see it over here. And what's my IP address? Let me show you a quick trick also. What this Pug starter can do. So this is my phone. Let's see. You guys can see it? Yeah, it's my phone. So am I connected? Yeah, I'm connected to the wireless. So 148. I'll input this IP address over here. This one. I'll type it in my phone browser. 148. And is it one? Yeah, it's 1, so it's not 0, it's 1 here. And let's hope it works. Yeah, it does work. So let's see now. This is my phone. As you can see it on the webcam. And if I scroll over here, it should scroll on the phone too. See, I'm not doing anything on the phone. However, I'm scrolling on the website over here, and it scrolls on the phone too. See, now I'm all the way to the bottom, and now the phone is all the way to the bottom. And if I do it on the phone, is it working? Ah, come on, what are you doing? So, just a second, come on. So if I scroll it on the phone, I scroll it on the website too. Can you see it? Let me know if you can see it. So this is a nice way to use PackStarter or the quick blog to develop on both mobile, desktop and tablet, and you can visit it from multiple websites, multiple handheld devices, from anywhere, any other place you want in your local Wi-Fi network, and basically all the websites are synced. So that's what you can do using PackStarter. Cool, isn't it? So yeah, guys, that was with my phone. Okay, so now let's see what we can do about it. Firstly, we want to make it similar to the other pages, like this one. Actually, it's better to do it like contact maybe. So double click on this, split it. Let's see what comments. VS Code spell check, nice. Thank you, Donna Pere. Laurențiu, what about VS Code spell check? I don't know about it, or at least I didn't understood what you're referring to. Okay, so basically this is the contact and this is the CSS one. So let's just copy paste this in, and then this part, no, this part, not too much of it. It looks like I don't know how to select, or my mouse is playing tricks with me. Okay, from here to here it's enough. Okay, and then move this content from here to here. Just a quick thing, and then let's put this one in here and escape this. And then this is my CSS3 description. Let's just see it working for the moment. And if we are to go on this CSS, you can see CSS, what I've done so far, what I've learned so far. This is my CSS3 description, and we want to add some content. So let's quickly go to the old project, because I've already done some content over there. Not this one, the one on GitHub. So GitHub, not PUG starter, quick log, the old one. And into src, and data, got this CSS JSON. So basically, if we are to compare this JSON to what's the W3 schools / CSS, maybe it's like that. Yeah. So CSS tutorial introduction, CSS tutorial. Say this introduction, for example. Okay, and like that. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. See? So basically, this is the content that I grabbed from this website. CSS syntax and selectors. Let me zoom out a bit. Is it doing it? One more. Come on. Yeah. Syntax and so this syntax, okay. And in here we get a CSS rule consists of a selector. So somewhere here it says a CSS rule consists of a selector, blah blah blah. So basically I've extracted like a title and some basic content from this website like CSS how to see when a browser reads a style sheet, This is what I've done here. I've extracted this content inside here. So let me grab it. It's a few pages, like 5 of them maybe, from Pug GitHub. Let me paste this link into Facebook. Okay, so where is Facebook? Over here. I'll check that spell check or that link, Laurenzo, later on. Thank you for providing it. So I've pasted that URL on GitHub. I'll try to paste it on CodeTap live chat on YouTube too. Let's see if YouTube allows me. No, it doesn't. So I'll paste it on screen for everybody to see. Okay. No, it's too big. Okay, tab, Control J, V, Shift, all the way up, text, Control V, Control A, and 220. Is it enough? Even smaller, 150. Yeah, should be enough for you to see anyway. So that's the URL on GitHub, https github.com mariansburlea quick blog. That's the old quick blog, the one that's done with display flex. We are currently working on the one that's done with display grid. So we've copied this, and let's go back to here and add a CSS JSON here, CSS JSON, and paste the content in, save it. And now we should have access to this CSS JSON. It's a collection of objects with a title, link, and description. And we should have access to it using data.css and whatever the contents of the JSON are. So let's go back to, this is our localhost. Okay, and there's another one. Let me find it. I'm so lost in Windows. Come on, Windows. This is an empty one. We don't need it. That's not. Is it this one? No. This one? No. Not this one either. That not. Okay, this one. Finally. Okay, so if we are to go into SRC and CSS and index.png, let's grab it and move it over here. And let's basically recreate the same thing but explaining it. Okay, so now we got a better title, so let's update our one. Okay, and this is a better description, and then we got this part over here. This is the H2. So let's see how our localhost looks so far. CSS3 introduction, explore CSS3 in a new light, discover the power of awesome CSS3. Okay, and then we have a list wrapper here, so let's just copy paste it, and basically it wraps the next part, and then we can loop through the data CSS. Okay, so let's do each article in data.css, and then what we do here, there's an article component. For the moment, let's just print it out to see what happens. So let's do a pre-tag, and the value of it should be JSON stringify. Okay, and article null and 2, and let's see what happens. So basically this is what gets printed out. This is article the first time, then the article the second time, and the third time, and so on. So this article, it's parsing through this CSS JSON and has access first to this, and then to this, and so on, and it gets printed out on our screen. If you don't know what this, I don't know what this null does, you can Google it, but I know what this 2 does. If I make it 4 and save it, look at what happens to this spacing over here. See, it created like 4 spaces. If I do 14, you can see that there will be like 14 spaces anyway here. So it indents the JSON print on the screen. Okay, so now let's look into this article, because we already have the content done. SRC component article. Okay, article PUG. So basically, let's create one as well into component, new folder, article, copy this. Let me also open that on-screen keys so you can see what keys I'm pressing. So we've created an article. Let's create a new file, article.pug, and another new file, article.scss. And in article.pug, we want to create just those two lines for the moment. And so basically we'll have an .article, the class, that will create a div with the class article, and then we have an h3, and the content would be the article variable .title. So as far as we can see over here, this article has a title. So if we say article dot title, it will be CSS3 tutorial, CSS3 introduction, and so on. Okay, because we are printing it in here, and let's comment this out. And now let's include, and we want to include that article that sits inside the article folder inside the component. So basically we are in here. Let me show you where we are. We are in this CSS, so we need to go one folder up to be at the same level as component, and then the other. So one folder up, component slash article slash article, and it should work now. Let's see. Okay, so we've got printed the titles: CSS tutorial, CSS introduction, syntax, selectors. Let's inspect them, make sure that we are on the same page. Okay, so we've created a list wrapper, and inside it there are a bunch of divs with the class article, and there is an h3 tag with the content of it. So basically, okay, let's look. This is the list wrapper. Then we are including this article. This article has a div with article and an h3 with the article tag. That's happening here. Okay, that's what we've done so far. Now let's continue to look into what we have in here. So then we have a paragraph with the article description. P equals article description, and let's see what happens in here. So now we've got the description in two. If we are to inspect it, we can see that we have a paragraph, and inside it the description of it. I might need to zoom in a bit. Let me know if you can nicely see those HTML tags that I'm showing it to you. So let me zoom again. Should be easier to see now. Maybe they were too small. Let's see any comments so far. None. Okay, so now let's see what else we have in the old one. Where is the old one? And then we have an article link. This will make a div with the class article link. Again, for the newcomers, if you type div here or not, it's the same thing, because Pug defaults to a div if you don't specify a tag. We are specifying tags here. This is an h3 tag, this is a paragraph tag, but we are not specifying one here, so it defaults to a div. And then we have this a tag. Let's do it twice. So a tag with the href of article link, like that, and then we have an article title. We do this article title again. So let's just do it like that and see what happened. So I have this link over here. Okay, and let's duplicate this line and save it again. So now I have like double the links, but I want to show you something, and let's see how it works. Okay, now if I want to interpolate, if I want to put this text in, I can no longer use the equal unless I do some JavaScript string concatenation or whatever. So if I want to do it the PAG way, this equal only works when you have a JavaScript expression here. This will evaluate to the value of it. So if I am to remove this and save it, you can see that it says article title. It's no longer evaluating this. However, I can wrap this into curly braces, add a dash in front of it, and it will be the same. So it's back to, so those two are one and the same. Those two expressions do exactly the same thing. This equal prints this, and if you put a space and then evaluate this, it will do the same. However, in the second version, you can add stuff in front of it or to the end of it. Let's do BBB and 1 to 3. Okay, so if we are to look here, we can see that we have 1 to 3 BBB, 1 to 3 BBB. Let's do a div here. Okay, now they are like separated. So you can see, basically this is the same, but with 1 to 3 in front of it, and BBB at the end of it, the same as the first one. So when you want to have some text either in front, at the end, or both in front or at the end, and so on, this is how you play with the variables. Not like this. This is when you only print the variable. This is when you want to have some text either in front, at the end, or whatever. And now let's go back to our thing and just put this one in like that. Read more about the title. Okay, and if you save it, basically instead of just saying CSS how to, read more about CSS how to. That's what we've done. So we remove this part over here, and basically we have read more about CSS how to. So now let's see about the style. This style, if we are to say anything in it, it wouldn't work as it's not connected to the main style. So let's do that in here. So this style needs to include it. So let's duplicate this line and say article. Okay, so now the main style is importing the article style, this one which has nothing in it at the moment, but we'll find out what we've done so far in here. So let's see. So basically this would translate to article. So we have like article padding 1 rem. Okay, so before we save it, let's also see what happens. So when we save it, like that, click on this icon here. Let's drop it a bit. Okay, so when you save it, you can see that the entire article wrapper has created some padding, and now you can see that the content is breathing a bit. And let's see, Child Todd. Don't know what this color is. Athens gray. Do we have a gray color in? Let's see. If not, we can bring it in. So in our config colors, we only have, yeah, we do have this color Athens gray. Yeah. So let's do actually here. Okay, so and means it will grab this part over here and put it over here, and nth child odd means the first child, the third child, the fifth child, every odd child would receive a background color of Athens gray. There are no errors, which is fine, and it means that the first, the third, the fifth, and so on has a background like that. So now it's even easier for us to read more about it. And then we have the link text align right, so we want to make the link sit on this side. So we can either do like this, article link text align right, and save it, or if we want, we could reuse this article that's present here, and let's move it up, and instead of saying that article we can say end, like that, because it will fill in whatever is on top. So let's save it, and basically it does the same thing. So this is our CSS let's say landing page. So when you go into our blog on the tag CSS, or however you want to call it, this would be like the preview page, and once you click on those ones you navigate further down one level deeper. So let's quickly do the same thing for HTML. So this one, HTML. Okay, so basically we want to create, we already have the article, so that's not needed. We want to create a new folder like the CSS one into here. So into SRC, right click, new folder, HTML, and into HTML. Basically let's use this page and save it. Control Shift S and save it into HTML. Save. And now if we are to visit it, it's the same content as CSS3. So let's grab some content that we've already done in our previous project from the, no, it's not in here, it's in HTML. Okay. If you like this one, guys, don't forget to subscribe. I would also like to see from time to time some shares, so I know you love me, I love you back too. Okay, so let's do HTML5 introduction. Let's make sure that we are in HTML. So let's see who shares. Who's the one who shares first? I want to see a share. So CSS introduction, we want to change it to HTML introduction, and let's see if it did. Yeah, now it's HTML introduction. Discover HTML for beginners. This is in here. Okay, and then we got read more to find blah blah blah, like that. And basically the rest of it should be the same. We no longer this comment, and right now it's still pointing to, because we are reading data CSS. So let's see if we have a data in here. If we have a data HTML JSON. Okay, let me remind you that this content I've grabbed from over here. So if we go into HTML and see HTML5 tutorial, HTML5, is there a tutorial here? Yeah, this is the tutorial. Yeah. So then we have, with HTML you can create your own website. See, basically this is the content. This is where I grabbed the content. I read through it. I selected whichever I thought it makes sense. And well, it might also be from my own thoughts. I'm just trying to speed up the development over here. So let's just grab everything, because that's like HTML5 introduction, HTML5 editors. So that's what I've done. I've either copied it from over here, or maybe I wrote it from my own thoughts, and it doesn't really matter. Let's go in here and create into the data a new file. HTML is cool .json and paste it in here. So now we want to loop through data HTML is cool.json, and let's see if we can do it in without running into issues or not. So we are in the right place. Let me click this icon over here so we make more space on the screen. I don't need this, I don't need this. So data in HTML is cool. That was the name of our file. So if we save it, we can see that it doesn't do it. Well, that's because this HTML is cool has hyphens in it, and basically JavaScript looks at it like it would be HTML, subtract the value is, then subtract the value cool. So if you are to let me make another copy. So let's see a few solutions. One is to use the camel case, and we could do like this, is cool, and then we would name our file with this name. However, we can also do another thing, which is to wrap this in round parentheses and then in a string. So I want to access this property of the data. So let's see if it works. Does it work or not? Yeah, it did. So now we have our HTML, let's say landing page or HTML tag page ready. All we need to do is start working on the articles. So I think it's enough for tonight. I'll wrap my coding session and listen for questions and answers, or open the question and answers section. Let's see, any questions? Thank you, Adrian Gana, for sharing it. Thank you. Come on, guys, any questions? Let's see what we will be doing tomorrow night. So let me give you a preview of tomorrow night. So basically we are already on this page, or let's get to attributes or headings, doesn't matter. Basically we want to start writing about attributes, because we've just discovered attributes, HTML attributes, and we want to share with the world our discover. And if we had any problems, we can write about them. If we have any excitements, we can also write about that. So basically we'll start to recreate some of this content. Oh snap, something went wrong. Let's hope nothing continues to go wrong. And we'll create, let's say, this part over here and this part over here, something similar to this website anyway. That's what we'll be starting to do starting tomorrow night. We'll create our articles in our blog. And we'll do it in a nice way, in a different way that we've done it so far. We'll start to make more use of JSON, which is a JavaScript object. And we'll prepare ourselves for whenever we'll make the jump to JavaScript and using React or Angular or any other library you'd like. So we will already start to build a bridge towards our next steps in our web developer career. That's what we'll start tomorrow night. Okay, no questions as far as I can see. No, there is one or not. Which Windows tools are you using? So Vinet Pathak is asking, which Windows or tool are you using? So let me quickly show you the neck. If we are going to go on youtube.com/CodeTap/playlist. Okay, and let's see. There is a playlist here named required tools. Let's click on it. Oh snap twice, because last time I got this oh snap like 2 times, my computer gave me a blue screen, and let's hope it doesn't happen tonight. And if it happens, basically I think the feed will end. So let's hope it doesn't. So over here we are using Node.js, Gulp, Git, and GitHub. Those are the tools that we use as development tools in our desktop. And we are also using the Visual Studio Code editor. However, you can feel free to install Atom, Sublime, or any other editor you like. And on top of that, from GitHub, we always start our projects with the Packstarter project. So if you visit github.com/mariansbulea/packstarter, I'll drop a link in the comments. I'll drop a link here. We basically start all our projects with Packstarter, and usually I go like this. Let me zoom out a bit. When I click on my profile, when I click on my stars, and I have lots and lots of projects added to favorites, whichever I like, and one of them is Packstarter. So it's easier for me to find it instead of actually typing it. If I forget the name of it and so on, it's easier for me to find it. So if you go to the project, make sure to add it to your favorites. So this project over here, Packstarter, yeah. Basically click the star button over here and you add it to your favorites, and it's easier for you to access it. As if you start building websites, definitely you'll make use of it a lot. And basically those are the tools. Node.js to run JavaScript on our local machine. Then Gulp to automate our compiling process, so it compiles Pug into HTML, Sass into CSS, it optimizes images and so many other things, like the screen auto refresh, the sync between mobile and desktop when you want to see your website, how it behaves on both mobile and on desktop. That's done by all those tools that we started. So let me quickly close this and go to the next question. What about OS? So Vinet is asking about OS. I'm using Windows 10. However, you can use any OS you'd like. You can do it on Mac, you can do it on Linux, you can do it on Windows 7, whatever OS. It works on all OSs. It's cross-platform on any OS. Yeah, you can do it from the command line. It works from serverless. Doesn't really matter. As long as you can run Node.js on it, you should be fine. Okay, so now let's see. Any other questions? Okay, YouTube is not that. That's cool. No questions on YouTube. I'll wait a couple more minutes, guys, to see if you still have any more questions. Thank you to Adrian Gania. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you really like it, if you really love this, if you find value, share it with your friends, because other friends might be scared about becoming web developers, and this is a way to start as a web developer with no knowledge of coding, basically, and you learn to build websites. You start building websites and you learn while you do it. That's the approach of CodeTap. And so far we are using basic HTML5 and CSS3 to build our websites, and from time to time I start to introduce you a bit to JavaScript, like variables, loops, and so on, but the very basic stuff, not too much of it. I don't want you to be scared and run away. So that's what we do. We help people jumpstart their web developer career. So I don't see any more questions, guys. Your timing of live event every day. Rahul is asking if I do it every day. I'm aiming to do it every day, and I'm aiming to do at least one live. Usually I do 1 or 2 lives, but I'm aiming to do at least one. If I don't do live one day, it means somehow my schedule got messed up. So yeah, I try to do it every day, and there'll be more events happening soon, as I should have my first employee to help out with CodeTap and everything else. I should have him starting on the 17th of this month. So let's see how it goes. If we can manage our time better, there should be more and more content happening on CodeTap. So see, that's what was a great question, Rahul. The question was on YouTube. So Rahul is asking, how did you set up the localhost 3000? Basically, let me hit Ctrl+C to exit this process over here. And let me just close the project. I'll open Visual Studio. I'll also close actually a new window, so it's like nothing is opened. See? Then I open the folder with my project, and our current project that we work on is QuickBlog. So I select that folder, and then I already have the terminal open, but let's close it. And if I use the shortcut way, that's how I open the terminal. If you want to find the shortcuts, you go here on help, then go to keyboard shortcut reference, click on it. Let me bring it on screen and zoom in a bit. So basically, those are the main shortcuts used in Visual Studio Code, and one of them holds the integrated terminal. Let me bring it on screen somehow, because it's hidden under the camera. The camera, it's a bad camera sometimes. Come on. Yeah. So somewhere down here, for the Windows version, the control and tick shows or hides the terminal. Okay, and on Mac it should be the key below the tick and the tick. So it might differ from one operating system to another, but this is how you find out about the shortcuts. I always use shortcuts as long as I know them. I use the shortcuts. So then in the terminal I say npm start, and I'll make this terminal window a bit bigger so you can see what happens. And when I hit enter, it will start a gulp process, and basically it will also open the browser with this localhost 3000. Let me open a new one, because if you're working on multiple projects, let's say this would be another project, and we do npm start again, it should open it on a new port. So by default it will see that the 3000 port is already taken, the 3001 is also already taken. If we look over here, 3001 and 3000 are taken. So if this would be another project, it will open it automatically on localhost 3000, and we would have like a website like this, and another one like this. So localhost 3000 and 3002. That's how it would look like. However, let's exit this. Oh no, Visual Studio went crazy again. Okay, Task Manager. Yeah, that's it, done. Everything is back to normal. Let's see if there are any more questions. Any more questions? So that was a nice question, Rahul. I did explain about how you open a localhost 3000. You basically run npm start, and it should do it. If I closed my my editor, the web server is closed too. So let me open it again. Say npm start. Before I wrap this session, I would also like to make a commit, so because I always forget. So those are all our changes so far. Let's stage them all and commit with a nice message. So create the HTML and CSS landing pages and the article component add data into CSS JSON and HTML is cool.json, and basically this is our commit. And let's sync it. So for whoever wants to see this code online, if we are to visit github.com/codetap.io/quickblog, we should see our last commit, but we create the HTML and CSS, blah blah blah. So in here we can see that we've created this file, article.png, article CSS. Everything that's with green and with pluses is added. Everything that's with red is removed. So basically we remove this line and we've added those two. That's how it looks like. And so those are all our changes. If you are to start from in reverse order, this is the very first change when nothing in the quick blog existed, and go through all the changes in reverse order, you end up in the same place where we are now. You can also browse the code. If you go like, come on, why did you select everything? Click outside. Yeah. So browse the code, src, component, article PG. You can see the code in here. See, so basically you can browse the entire project. You have everything public. So yeah, get on with it. Okay, let's see, any more comments, any more shares, any more comments, any more likes. Started today to watch your videos. Like in which sequence? So Arshal is saying, I started today how to watch your videos, in what sequence. If you're very new, Arash, yeah, I hope I spell your name right. If you are very new, on youtube.com/codetap/playlists, and you don't know much about coding, you can start with Everyone Can Code the beginning. There is a before we start coding playlist. It explains about HTML and CSS. Let's see if we can see it. Now you can't see it. Let me put it on this side because there is a webcam. Yeah. So Everyone Can Code the beginning. It's the bottom one over here. Before we start coding, and as soon as you get a better understanding about HTML and CSS, how they work, how a web page is served, and what's a web page and how we can build one, you can go and start with Learn to Code Like a Pro for beginners. And then you can continue with the online CV, your resume online for free using HTML5 and CSS3. Then we have like Mega Menu Friend or Foe. We also have the quick blog and many more cool projects to come. So that's how you should start it. It depends on what level you are. If you have some basic understanding about HTML and CSS, jump into Learn to Code Like a Pro for beginners. If not, start with the very basic ones before you start coding, and Everyone Can Code. And basically that's how you start. That's how everyone starts. Good question, Arash. Good question. I'm happy you joined us. You joined the CodeTap community. So if there are no more questions, guys, I'll wrap this up and see you tomorrow night. Yeah, I can see that there are no more questions. So you've been awesome, guys. Thank you for watching. Happy coding and create something awesome. Stop.